Today I want to talk about something that I think a lot of people struggle with, including myself. Like, it's genuinely one of the toughest things anyone will go through in terms of being productive and actually doing something with their lives, and that's procrastination. But before I get into all of that, I just want to say a massive thanks. I was right, that video did get views. It actually got a couple more views than I thought. I'd said it would get about 100, and I think it's on just under 300 now, which for a first video is unbelievable. But not only that, it got comments and it got likes. Like, it's got about 25 likes for only 300 views, which is an incredible ratio. And also, I need to go and actually start getting some food today, or I will end up starving in this world. And I should probably build some chess. But yeah, I just want to talk about procrastination, like my personal struggles with it, and different ways that I think people can get over it and help improve their own situation with it. Let's kind of start off with the bare basics of what procrastination is, and simply it's just putting off a task. Like, if you need to do something, you don't do it, and there's a whole multitude of reasons why you might not do that said task. You might not want to do it, you might not enjoy doing it, it could just be that you're going to find it difficult. But yeah, there's many different reasons as to why someone, or you yourself or me, might struggle with it. I think one of the main reasons I've always struggled with it is just I always have like this back of my mind that everything's meant to fall into place. It's I can do that tomorrow type of vibe. Like, I don't need to get that done today because everything's going to fall into place for me anyways. So if I do it today, tomorrow it becomes irrelevant, which is probably one of the worst mentalities I could have. Like, it's actually terrible. It can't do me any good, like, at all whatsoever. But I've always just had it. I just think everything's going to fall into place. I think it helps of how lucky I've been so far in my life. Like, I'm not going to sit here and just tell sob stories. Like, with my job and with everything I've ever done, it does always seem to end up all right. But I mean, I know I work hard. Like, don't get me wrong, I work very hard. But there's so many other times I think I could be doing something right now. I'm not being productive enough. I need to be doing this, and I'll find any excuse not to do it. But recently, especially with the season coming to an end in my job, I've got a lot more free time, so I'm finding myself procrastinating again. And it's been simple things, like I don't normally like watch series or anything like that, but because I knew I need to make some videos and I've got some clients that I need to edit some stuff for and all of that, I suddenly started binge watching series. Like, I watched the whole of that Fallout series in one day. Like, that's ridiculous. That's like 8 hour long episodes. I spent 8 hours in one single day just watching a series, which there's nothing wrong with doing that every now and then. But then what I did was, the day after, instead of then getting on with my work, I've then gone and binge watched the whole of that Shogun on Disney Plus. Now, completely hypothetical and hypocritical, if you do have the spare time, go watch those two series because they were absolutely incredible. Like, some of the best shows I've watched in a very long time. But yeah, it doesn't help with my procrastination, me going ahead and knowing I have a task and then just sitting in bed and watching series all day. I have found like a few little bits and pieces, like things I can do to help me with it, and the main one is probably one of the most simple ones, and that is, when I wake up, make my bed. And like, you might be wondering, well, why does that matter? What difference does that make? But I find when I make my bed, it then means I don't get back into it. Whereas when it's just lying there looking all appealing and I'm sat at my desk working and I'm like, I could so easily right now I'll just go back in there. I'll just watch TikToks for another couple minutes, and then the next thing I know, it's been 2 hours and I still haven't made any more progress in what I originally set out to do. That's a problem. Another thing I would say is work when suits you. You don't have to be a 5 a.m. worker. Some people will work best early in the morning, and to them I say fair play. What is that? Oh my god. oh my god, I just got killed by a little zombie and now I don't have a clue where I am. Oh no. But yeah, you don't have to be a 5 a.m. worker. You could work at 1 p.m. start working. You could start working at 7 p.m. It doesn't matter when you do the work as long as you get it done, and just work whenever suits you best, no one else. So that's one thing, is just working when suits you. Another thing is just do that first tiny little step. If you have a goal, so let's say my goal, I want to edit a video. I've got a client and I need to edit a video. The first step for that to me would be, all right, just get the basic raw cut done. Line everything out, get the basic cut done, or it could even be download the footage from them, but just get it going, because I find momentum carries everything, and doing stuff gives me momentum. Like right now on this channel, because I've made a couple videos, I'm like, all right, sweet, more. I have a proper addictive personality, which is great and terrible at the same time. And it means when I want to do something, I am like so into doing that thing. It's all I can think about and all I want to do. But on the other hand, when I don't want to do something, I'm the complete opposite. I will try and have any way to avoid doing said thing. I really cannot find where I'm meant to be. But leading back into other ways that you can help get yourself out of procrastination and stuff like that I've found useful, is just to have basic discipline. So going back to make your bed in the morning, make a proper breakfast, like fuel your body, fuel its needs. Wake up at a certain time each day. Give yourself discipline as to, I'm going to do this. And as I said, it doesn't have to be a set time. You can be like, right, I'm going to wake up at 9 a.m. every day. Wake up at 9 a.m. every day. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning to be the most productive person ever. I actually watched this thing from, I think it was Elon Musk. And he doesn't get out of bed till 9 o'clock in the morning because he doesn't need to. I'm just going to die again, I think. There's even a whole quote that I think goes back to procrastination, and it goes like this: you feel terrible because your future self is watching what you're doing now and it doesn't like it. And when I first read that, I thought, what a load of waffle. But the more I thought into it, the more it actually started to make sense to me. Like this, it's not saying the future self is sat there at a monitor watching it right now, but you have these things called memories, and when you think about it, your future self is able to look back at those memories and know what you were doing at the time of said memories. And your future self might not like, and it will look back at what you're doing right now in frustration and anger and resentment, as to thinking, why didn't you just do that thing? Why didn't you complete that task that could have unlocked this other opportunity? Why did you make me have to go through so much pain or so much extra effort when you could have just done that there and then? I got a little one the other day, but I procrastinated with just paying a speeding ticket. And what would have originally been, it wasn't a speeding ticket, it was I'd gone through one of them camera ones where you're not meant to go through, whatever. And what originally started as a £30 fine, because I kept putting it off, I ended up having to pay almost £200 because of just going through the wrong lane. But I procrastinated, and now my future self looks and kicks itself going, why didn't you just pay that fine when you got it? And my final sort of one that leads from all of these is just get it done, and it will lead to momentum. And momentum is so key. Once you start, I find it really hard to stop. So just get stuff going, get it done, you'll get momentum, and you will be flying.